project has been absolutely enormous strain, but I'm so happy that we've done this and we've brought this centre to the community.
The unique aspect of MAG is we're more than just a gymnastic club. We aspire to become so much more.
We are one of the high performance centres in the country. There's not another high performance centre within 50 miles.
There are Salford champions, and the champions out there, we just need to go out and find them. Claudia Michael Grech, I'm the founder together with my wife Maxine.
Hi, my name is Maxine Grech and I'm the owner of Manchester Academy of Community Gymnastics.
The venture was very promising, to be honest with you. It was very difficult.
So back in 2016, I've got a little boy called Rocco, and we met a disabled little boy who was really struggling to engage in gymnastics. He was a friend of ours. The grandma was really, and she struggled to get involved in any gymnastics centre, wouldn't take him really due to his disability. So we decided to start the process of opening our own gymnastics centre, which was quite a long process.
My wife and I spent a considerable amount of money to put this centre in Salford, because I'm from Salford and I wanted to give something back to Salford.
My favourite memory of the centre would probably be its infancy, when we had all the coaches in, mucking in, building, plastering walls, mopping floors, that sort of thing, pretending to be builders, which they're definitely not.
So I joined the centre right from when we first opened. I actually came and helped with a bit of the labouring when we were in the final stages of finishing off the gym. So I've been here right from the very beginning, which has been a really exciting project to be a part of.
That was a lot of hard work and a lot of money that went into that, which developed a world-class centre.
My favourite memory, I think it'd be very difficult to beat how I felt when Maxine first showed me around the place. I was gobsmacked, absolutely gobsmacked. I'd heard things, my sister had been down when it was sort of being done up, and I'd heard what it was like, but I'd not been myself. And when I first came and she showed me my room, what was going to be my room, I was blown away.
So my favourite memory of the centre would have to be when we did the competition, the Halloween competition. It was a recreational competition and anyone could pretty much enter. So there was lots, obviously all children got to join in, all different abilities, and obviously the children had a great day.
My favourite memory of the centre is just there having a laugh with all the lads and the people there, getting to know new people, just basically fun and games.
The most influential point of being here for my actual gymnastics and also my coaching especially is that I've worked with a great team. I've learned a lot, come up. I've been in coaching for possibly a year and a half now with the actual squad.
My favourite memory of the centre is probably the first time we went to a competition, which was a local Northwest Regional Championships, and we were representing the club for the very first time.
My wife took the presentation together with her coaches.
Amazingly, we got some incredible results. We had a lot of boys winning their age groups.
And when one of the girls won it, or one of the boys won it, they got off the floor and turned around to the parent, and the parent started to cry, the girl or boy started to cry, and that was a touching moment. That's when it all revealed as to why we brought this incredible centre to Salford.
And it was just fantastic to see all of our hard work really paying off at competition.
That was a very, very touching moment for me.
Just watching the children's faces getting better and better, and the parents' faces, to be honest, the parents absolutely fill me with joy, because they're saying that, they wouldn't have been able to do this without our support.
We started with 2-3 kids and now we've got full classes up to 15 in each class. Obviously, from starting that, I still remember the children that I first started with, and then seeing them actually move up and move on to foundation classes is great.
There's a couple of kids who've come here, parents say they're being a bit bullied, intimidated in school, and timid as well, and I brought that out of them, brought them out of the shell, and the parents are over the moon with it.
A lot of those children are on the pathway to elite gymnastics. We've got a Great Britain gymnast who's called Regini-Moran, who is hopefully going to the Olympics.
So it's quite unusual to have top-end elite athletes training alongside younger kids.
My name is Dennis Scholar and I do gymnastics.
But for me, I feel like it's important to inspire the younger generation, because if I'm not doing that, if athletes aren't doing that, then there will be no next generation.
My favourite memory was when I first did my on rings, my swings, and then I did my double puck full.
And that's why I like to get involved. I like to come in when the parent and play is on and I'm training around kids that are running wild, you know, just getting to know the sport, having a bit of fun.
It was like I was flying in the air.
I like to train around the younger girls or the younger boys so that they can look up to me and think, wow, you know, this guy's training for the Olympic Games, this guy is at the best of his ability, and hopefully that will inspire them, because when I was younger, I didn't really have that at all. You know, the odd occasion I'd go to a different gym and I'd be training along the likes of Lewis Smith and Daniel Keatings, and I really looked up to them and I was like, wow, you know, that really kind of motivated me to want to be good at this sport and want to stay with it.
So what do you want to do when you get older?
Become a professional gymnast and go to the Olympic Games.
The coronavirus is the biggest threat this country has faced for decades, and this country is not alone. All over the world, we're seeing the devastating impact of this invisible killer. And so tonight, I want to update you on the latest steps we're taking to fight the disease and what you can do to help. From this evening, I must give the British people a very simple instruction. You must stay at home.
When lockdown happened, I had huge concerns about that. The first one was on March the 23rd, and it locked us down for nearly 5 months, and I knew we were going to be in trouble from there on in.
So, I mean, when I first heard about lockdown, my little business, obviously it's going to take a hit, but it's small fry, to be honest. The real sort of shame lies in what it'll do for this complex as a whole.
It was a devastating blow because we was just starting to see light at the end of the tunnel and all the hard work coming to prevail, really.
We were scared as an academy how we was going to survive, how we was going to operate, what could we do, what couldn't we do.
We've just got enough members to keep our head above water and to keep going, just be sustainable going forward by ourselves.
When you've got so many children who train so often, some kids train up to 23, 24 hours a week, and then just to come to a complete standstill, well, it was devastating.
Obviously the gymnasts, they work so hard to compete, and they just, obviously you see some of the children nearly 5-6 days a week, and then obviously to go from seeing them all the time to nothing, it was obviously quite upsetting for the children and obviously the coaches.
This centre's a lifeline for all kids, not just high-performing ones. Recreational kids, teenagers, adults, it's a lifeline to everyone. So yeah, I think my first thoughts were definitely worry.
My immediate reaction was just feeling sorry for the kids. I know how passionate they are about the sport and how much it means to them.
So when I first heard about the lockdown, my immediate thoughts were how devastated I was, not only for my career and all the competitions that I had planned for this year, but you know, the club not being able to open due to regulations and government guidelines. Therefore, a lot of kids, a lot of elite athletes could not train. The club could not, you know, really survive without that. And for me, that was hard. It was hard to stay motivated, and I think for a lot of people, they felt the same way as well. The motivation was gone.
When lockdown happened, I was heartbroken, pretty upset. The fact of the matter is the people was depending on coming to the gym for a getaway.
We did engage in Zoom classes, not as many as I would have liked to, because we was told that we wasn't allowed to engage in Zoom classes because our most of our staff was furloughed, so we had to obviously abide by the rules. So we did what we could, and we kept going as much as we could. We engaged as much as we could and what possibly was allowed to do.
So I think the centre's been really important in helping people through lockdown, especially for gymnastics coaches like us. It's not just a job for us, it's our hobby, it's our passion, it's our lifeline, and it keeps our mental health, it keeps us sane.
When it was lockdown, my dad downloaded the Zoom app, and then my whole entire group of we start cameraing, and then Will told us what to do, and we did gymnastics on Zoom.
Where I've been running Zoom sessions for some of the kids in my classes, try and keep them really fun and engaged, and just using the best of what they've got at home. So it could be using tea towels, it could be using like broom handles, it could be using tins of soup or baked beans, and just really trying to make the most out of everything that they've got at home, trying to keep them as fit and active as possible.
It was loads of fun.
And I think if this centre was unlucky enough to not get any funding or any help from the community, I think it'd be a crying shame for the community, and I think it'll hit hard to the community in the future.
The community won't have a place to be able to come and train. It's kind of a social club as well, so when the kids come, it can be for fun, it can be out to get a chat, it can be to work obviously alongside coaches, do something they love.
The people who I'm coaching and training, if the centre closes down, I don't think words can sort of describe it, because it's where they come for socialising aspects of it.
If the centre goes under, I don't even want to think about that. If the centre goes under, I think Salford and Manchester, because people come from all over, I think it loses its heart in a sense.
Yeah, it's unthinkable, really. I don't want to start to think of my life without the centre, in all honesty.
Unfortunately, all the hard work the boys have done, the girls have done, the gym has done in the community, unfortunately, it will just disappear.
Yeah, we train 35 hours a week, you know. As coaches, we're in the gym for 40, 50 hours a week, planning training schedules, making sure the boys are all right. So, yeah, I think the general ward would be devastated. It'd be thousands and thousands of hours of work and planning down the drain.
We are a family here, so we're in the heart of Salford. So many wonderful people involved, and everybody's a family here, you know, and it is a charity.
If the centre was closed, I would be very upset, and I couldn't do any of gymnastics at home because I had nothing to do. I had no pommels and like P-balls or anything.
So if this centre closed, you know, if this centre closed, I would not have a gym to train in, you know, and my goals of going to the Olympic Games could be shattered.
The immediate help we need is financial. Our landlord has not given us a payment break as such. They gave us a payment break for the lockdown, but then they've added it onto our rental now. So basically we've got a massive deficit of rent owed that we've got to find some way to pay.
The centre needs either an investor or just somebody to come along, or local businesses to come along and just support us with a little bit of help towards our rent. If we could just get our rent covered, this centre would be thriving, and it would help us through lockdown and help us progress to the future.
We understand everyone's facing hardship, but with that, we're more than just a building, we're more than just a club. We're a place where children learn, develop, aspire to become more. Without that help, I just can't see how we can move forward, and there's going to be so many journeys ended.
It needs obviously support from the community to come back into gymnastics, obviously when we reopen.
It needs people to invest in it, not only money but time, but you know, love and passion, and it needs people that care about it still being here, still remaining here, still being a place that kids can come to and, you know, relax mentally and physically.
If we don't have that support, obviously, then a lot of children will miss out on coming into the sport.
Everyone in the community, if they could donate anything just to help keep us afloat, tidy us over this period until we can get back on our feet, it'd be so appreciated.
You know, all these little things help, and in times like this we don't know how long the club can last and when or if it will be open again, so you know, really every little thing does count and does help.
It needs financial backing, it needs massive recognition, because it'd be such a shame to watch it sink and go under.
Any business-minded people can see the centre's probably one of the best centres in the Northwest for facilities and for young talent to come out of here.
This centre can produce Olympic champions, it can produce world champions, it can produce Commonwealth champions.
We've got so many strings to our bow. It's an incredible facility, and to lose this provision in this area would be devastating.
This help can be given by either a donation into the club or sponsorship. We're desperately looking for a sponsor and someone to come along and have a look at what we do, why we're doing it, and as soon as you see what we do and why we're doing it, I know for a fact people will want to get involved.
Do not allow this centre to fall by the wayside. There are champions here. Let's retain them and let's be proud of them.
Help us keep this family together, help us keep this community firing in the same direction. Give us recognition, give us backing.
Do what you can to get the gym open so I can be a very good gymnast.
Help me get to the Olympics.